What would you do if the greatest promise of your life was suddenly placed on the altar? Imagine waiting for years, decades, believing, hoping, trusting. Then finally, the miracle comes. Joy fills your home. Laughter returns to your heart. The promise is alive, breathing, growing before your eyes. And then one day, God asks for it back. This is the story of Abraham and Isaac, a story of faith stretched to its breaking point. Obedience in the face of confusion, and a powerful reminder that sometimes the greatest tests come right after the greatest blessings. Abraham had waited a lifetime for Isaac. God had promised him that he would become the father of a great nation, that his descendants would be as countless as the stars in the sky. But year after year passed, and the promise seemed impossible. Abraham grew old, Sarah grew older. Hope must have felt fragile at times, yet God remained faithful. In their old age, when human strength was gone and expectations had faded, Isaac was born. His name meant laughter, and that is exactly what he brought into their lives. Isaac was more than a son. He was the promise, the future, the evidence that God keeps his word. Years passed, and Isaac grew into a strong young boy. Abraham must have watched him with gratitude every day, remembering the long journey of faith that led to this miracle. Then came the test. One morning, God spoke to Abraham. The words were shocking, unthinkable. Take your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love. Go to the land of Moriah, and offer him there as a burnt offering on a mountain I will show you. No explanation, no reassurance, no details about what would happen next. Just a command. This was not just any sacrifice. This was the promise itself. If Isaac died, how could God's word be fulfilled? How could Abraham become the father of nations? The request did not make sense. It must have pierced Abraham's heart. Yet the Bible records something remarkable. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and began the journey. No argument, no delay, no negotiation. 3 days they traveled, Abraham, Isaac, and 2 servants. 3 days to think, 3 days to wrestle with the weight of obedience. 3 days carrying a burden no parent should ever have to carry. Finally, the mountain came into view. Abraham told the servants, "Stay here with the donkey. The boy and I will go over there to worship, and then we will come back to you." Did you catch that? We will come back. Somewhere deep within, Abraham believed that God would provide a way, even if he could not see it yet. He placed the wood for the offering on Isaac's shoulders, while he himself carried the fire and the knife. Together, father and son walked up the mountain. Then Isaac asked a question that must have shaken Abraham's heart. "Father, the fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the offering?" Abraham replied, "God himself will provide the lamb, my son." Step by step, they reached the place God had shown him. Abraham built the altar. He arranged the wood, and then, in an act of unimaginable trust, he bound Isaac and laid him on top of the wood. This was the moment of decision. Everything Abraham believed about God was being tested. Would he trust God even when the command hurt? Even when the future seemed impossible? Even when the promise itself was at risk? With trembling hands, Abraham reached for the knife. And then a voice from heaven, "Abraham, Abraham, do not lay a hand on the boy. Do not do anything to him. Now I know that you fear God, because you have not withheld your son, your only son, from me." Relief, grace, mercy. Abraham looked up and saw a ram caught by its horns in a bush. God had provided the sacrifice after all. Isaac was spared. The promise lived. And Abraham named that place, "The Lord will provide." This moment was not about loss. it was about trust. It was not about taking Isaac away. It was about revealing the depth of Abraham's faith and the faithfulness of God. God never intended for Isaac to die, but he did intend to show something powerful. When we trust him completely, even with what we love most, he provides what we need at the right time. And there is an even deeper meaning hidden in this story. Centuries later, another father would allow his son to be sacrificed, not stopped at the last moment, but given fully for the salvation of the world. The mountain of testing pointed forward to the ultimate act of love. The story of Abraham and Isaac is not just ancient history. It speaks directly to our lives today, because we all face moments when faith is tested. Sometimes the test comes when life does not make sense, when prayers seem unanswered, when the path ahead is unclear, when God asks us to trust him with our plans, our security, our dreams, or our comfort. Sometimes the test comes after a blessing, when we are asked to surrender, control, and trust the one who gave the gift in the first place. Faith is not just believing when everything feels easy. Faith is trusting when the outcome is uncertain. Abraham teaches us that obedience does not always come with full understanding. He did not know how God would work it out. He only knew who God was, and that made the difference. Today, many of us try to hold tightly to what we love, our careers, our relationships, our finances, our future plans. We worry about losing control. We fear what might happen if things do not go the way we expect. But this story reminds us of a powerful truth. God's plans are always greater than our fears. When we surrender what we hold most tightly, we are not losing it. We are placing it in the hands of the one who provides. And here is another lesson. God's provision often comes at the last moment, not early, not when we think it should, but exactly when it is needed. Abraham did not see the ram until the knife was raised. Sometimes in our lives, provision shows up when we are at the edge, when our strength is gone and our faith is all we have left. That is when we discover that God was there all along. So what does this story teach us today? It teaches us to trust God even when we do not understand. It teaches us that obedience is more powerful than comfort. It teaches us that faith grows when it is tested. And most importantly, it reminds us that God is our provider. Whatever you are facing right now, uncertainty, fear, waiting, or a difficult decision, remember the mountain of Moriah. Remember that the same God who provided for Abraham is still providing today. You may not see the ram yet, but it is already there. Trust him. Walk forward in faith. Hold on to his promises, even when the path is unclear, because the place of testing can become the place of breakthrough. If this story encouraged you, take a moment to reflect. What is God asking you to trust him with today? Is there something you have been holding on to too tightly? Maybe this is your invitation to surrender it and believe that he will provide. Faith is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting the one who does. Thank you so much for watching. If this message touched your heart, do not forget to like this video, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to click the notification bell so you will be notified every time we upload a new video. May your faith grow stronger every day, and may you always remember the Lord will provide.